Hello YouTube, welcome to this episode of Real Newsblast. This is episode 12, entitled Redistricting Again. Every 10 years the district's lines are drawn, and every 10 years people are shrieking about the map. The latest time the redistricting came up in the judicial election, at least Wisconsin's, when Janet Protasiewicz won and since has been sworn on August 1st. Talk of impeachment was already beginning. Now, redistricting pretty much happened this way. Governor Evers adopted a redistricting plan that gave one more majority-minority seat, and the Supreme Court, the Wisconsin Supreme Court adopted it, but the Supreme Court of the United States blocked it, and then the Wisconsin Supreme Court went with the Republican ones. Now, I feel that this was a large blunder for the court, and they should have either ordered the legislature to override the veto or draw new maps that Evers would favor and sign like they're supposed to. I would definitely bring that up in the arguments to overturn the maps. Now, Republicans can impeach Protasiewicz, which they don't even want her to hear the case. Now, they could do it with a simple majority of the Assembly if Robin Vos were to call the item, and the Senate does have a 2/3 threshold if there are no Republican defections. A legal group has filed a motion to get Protasiewicz to recuse herself from the redistricting case. One motion objecting to Protasiewicz's recusal argued that such a move would be unsupported by fact or law, and it would be contrary to her duties as a justice of the Supreme Court. Unhappy with the electoral result, which they could not prevent through gerrymandering, Republicans now seeking to nullify and pick their justices set a filing from law forward. Republican-controlled Wisconsin legislature argued in filings last week that Protasiewicz has prejudged the cases, which could result in new, more Democratic-friendly maps being drawn before the 2024 election. So pretty much that is, I wonder how this effort will in fact play out, because you need actual reasons to impeach rather than I don't like the way they ruled in a certain case or I don't like what they said about a certain case. So we're going to keep that on. We're going to keep that. I'm going to keep that in the loop and stay on the loop in this. And then we're going to go to Michigan. So Michigan recently adopted an Independent Redistricting Commission, MICRC, of 13 people, 4 people from both parties and 5 independents. The maps the commission drew led to Democrats sweeping races and taking control of both houses, especially the Senate, which hadn't happened since 1984. In the Michigan House, Democrats hold a 56-54 advantage, while a similar advantage exists in the Senate 2018, and congressional delegation is in 7-6 favor of Democrats, while also Democrats hold both Senate seats. Even though the Republicans have lost statewide for many years, just like they have in Wisconsin and North Carolina, they enjoyed robust majorities with the 2020 map, in Michigan specifically being 58-52 in the House and 22-16 in the Senate. But with the new maps, while bolstering Democrats, did get some side-eye from black voters. And this is why.
A huge win for the plaintiffs in this case. It's fairly rare that redistricting challenges make it past a preliminary motion stage to trial.
Attorney John Birch claims the commission used racial quotas to draw the lines around black voters in Detroit in a way that makes it harder to elect the candidates of their choice.
But using these quotas, the commission reduced many of these districts down to 40% or even in the 30%. And as a result, we lost 15 to 20% of the Black Legislative Caucus in the last election cycle. It's a devastating outcome for black voters, and we're confident that the judges will see that.
So I have always been a fan of independent redistricting, and as with my Alabama video right here, we talked about the Jingles test. They have to be compact and cohesive politically, and with the likelihood of a minority chosen candidate success. The fact that the Black Caucus has been reduced in Lansing since these new maps shows that it could fail the Jingles test. A 3-judge panel dismissed summary judgment, which is pretty much a quick ruling, and has said that a jury trial will consider whether the districts violate Section 2 of the Voter Rights Act. And they said this: In some, neither side is entitled to summary judgment on plaintiffs' VRA claims as to House Districts 1, 7, 10, 12, and 14, and Senate Districts 1, 3, 6, and 8. These claims should therefore proceed to trial. So all of these may have to be withdrawn or redrawn to enfranchise black voters. Let us also note that this is a federal case. So definitely, I'm pretty sure that in the hearings, we will be hearing about the Jingles test. So while I am glad that the fair maps that the Independent Redistricting Commission produced, this is bittersweet as it diluted black community voters by cracking them. I hope that these maps will be remedied, and I will update you on that when I get a development on a future Real News Blast. Thank you so much for tuning in, and share with anybody who is interested in this, because I want to keep in touch with that, but also I want to grow more of my audience who is interested in politics. Talk to you soon. Have a great day.